My friends, get ready. Happy St. Patrick's Day. It's your boy Jose, and this is the Jose Velasquez Show. And you know I got to hit you up with a little bit of this. Who that? 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 Man, it's Matt Quick, my buddy, my brother from another mother. He's on here on St. Patty's Day. I got a little hat. And you know what? This is a quick pop-up video for all of you and looking forward to engaging with you. Matt, how are you, my friend?
So I'm just sipping on my green beer here in honor of St. Patrick's Day, Jose. So listen, today's been fabulous. This week's been fabulous. I must ask you for a beer. That's later on, but right now, just conversation between two. I don't want to say old, but two veterans. Just hopefully spitting a little bit of knowledge, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hey, I'm throwing my info on. A little bit embarrassed to throw this stuff on, but sometimes you got to show some love. Hey, you know what? I'm on Facebook and I'm on YouTube. Look, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, guys. Okay, if you got a YouTube channel, go on my YouTube channel right there, Jose Velasquez Jr. Hook a brother up. I appreciate it. It helps get these videos out just a little further to veterans.
Never be embarrassed to self-promote, man.
It's the little self-promotion, brother.
Yeah,
man. Why not? Hey, listen. I know we popped up out of the blue, but we like it that way. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to talk a little bit about engagement. We're going to talk about a little bit of our experiences. We haven't been on here in a little bit, and we'd love to hear from you. Check us out in the comments section. We'd love to hear from you today. Matt, what have you been up to since we last spoke?
So, hey, I got a job, Jose.
What?
I know, listen, I wasn't looking for a job either. I was just enjoying coaching LinkedIn, having a good time when I'm saying a terrible person. No, this great recruiter reached out to me. She goes, "Hey, Matt, can you please interview for this job?" I'm like, "Cool, I'll do that." Right. So I did, and I landed the job, Jose. I'll tell you what, I totally owe this recruiter, Corey Burton, totally owe her. She's phenomenal, and we work together now at Project Management Institute, PMI, great company. And don't tell anybody this right here, but I thought PMI was only about the project management professional certification. I had no idea the amount of stuff they have here, offerings. I'm embarrassed, Jose, but I'm learning and I'm spreading information now. Good times.
There you go. Spreading the word, man. Spreading the word, man. So talking about the certifications, what have you learned about, from previous experience? Have you learned anything different as far as your opinions about certifications and how they might help service members?
Yes. So this guy, I had a little bit of ego in the military with education. I thought I had my bachelor's degree. I was good, right? No big deal. But if I can go back in time, I tell you, I would have got my, the levels of certifications as I grew up and grew out of the military. There's these certified associate project management, CAP-M. I would have started there, then PMP, and then got my program management professional and maybe my portfolio management professional certification. Listen, Jose, I was a pretty good program and product manager. I would have been awesome if I had known how to do the job, though. So that's what I tell people now. It's like, just, you have the means, the military pays for it. Get that stuff done early. That way you can build upon your experiences and better prepare yourself and set yourself up for a more successful and quicker transition, Jose.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, if any of you out there are listening and you have any of these certifications and you have a good news story, share it with us in the comments and we'll pop it on. Keep it short though, okay? But pop it on the screen and we'll definitely share it with the rest of the group. But Matt, it is terrific to see you. I know it's been a little while since
I love your hat, Jose.
Engage, but you know what? We're always talking about, we are on LinkedIn for the most part. We're on Facebook as well, by the way, because
not
you
really
never limit yourself to one platform.
Get on TikTok, Jose. Do some dances for us.
I should, right? A little something like this right there.
You would go viral.
We have to do the Cabbage Patch. All right there.
I wouldn't do it though.
But On LinkedIn, things have changed a little bit. There's some stuff that's been added to make the page a little bit better and to make engagement better. But I think both of us would probably agree networking is still the same. The buttons pushed don't change anything. Engaging with people on a regular basis and growing our networks is the most important thing. Matt, you have a huge network of people. How in the world did you get there?
Steadily. Now, these things don't happen overnight. It's consistency. So, I don't count the followers, but I know I get so many more, maybe 100 or so a day now. And I reach out to some, but just sharing my experiences, posting things. And listen, I post fun things. I post memes every now and then in GIFs or GIFs. I post those because I like showing who I am, my personality. So in the morning, I'll do maybe a more serious toned post, but in the afternoon, I'm like, let's get lighter, enjoy it. Jose, I had a message last night from a doctor in biomedical sciences. She reached out to me. She says she saw a post of mine and she asked how she can get involved with PMI, how doctors and scientists can get in project management. So I immediately responded within 5 minutes. That's my immediate 5 minutes. So I responded with a connection of mine that could help her out. And she responded back with, "I can't believe you responded." First of all, it was 11:30 at night. But I was responding because I was on there watching some TV and I responded. So now we have a connection and we have a relationship now. Now I know a doctor, a PhD in biomedical sciences.
Yeah.
So these things, this is what it is. It's consistency over time. And these things, they don't happen overnight. It's not an overnight success. You have to build your network and nurture it by putting out information. I've seen people with 50,000 followers that never post. That is wasting opportunity right there.
Yeah.
Listen, consistency and building relationships, that's the key, Jose.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I appreciate the word you said, nurturing, because relationships can quickly break apart, especially, I shouldn't say break apart, drift apart, especially on social media when, our attention span is very short. And so if you're not maintaining those relationships and nurturing them over time, they drift apart and people move on to other things. And so I love the fact that you said that. Well, and the fact that, people think someone with your amount of followers and connections, won't even give them a second look. And yet on a regular basis, you're engaging with people both in your DMs and on comment sections and, making a difference. So, I mean,
now, for those that I haven't responded back to yet, I'm sorry. I try my best. I'm getting out there. So bear with me. I'm still probably a week behind sometimes. Catch me the right time, I'll respond back quickly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I also love the fact that you shared that, you can take LinkedIn a little bit lighter and it isn't always, stuffy kind of, business related posts, but it can also be something a little less professional. I shouldn't say professional. I don't know what the right term is, but, surely more oriented to your personality.
Authentic.
Yeah, authentic is what it is.
I shared a post the other day about my wife wanting my time for our 25th anniversary. And there was a lot of positive feedback. But two people now got my messages and says, "This isn't LinkedIn appropriate." I was like, what? I'm not sure if they're jealous I've got a great wife or whatever, but it turns out that they want to only see professional stuff. Their business. And they want to sell things all the time. Yeah. Listen, you can sell things on LinkedIn. It's cool. But people buy from people they trust. I wouldn't trust that person that says this isn't LinkedIn appropriate. This is who I am. Yeah. People share who they are. Listen, I've got a green beer on my necklace right now. It's just who I am. Playful person. Sometimes it annoys me, but sometimes I get blocked. That's what it is, Jose.
Yeah, authenticity, man. It's all about being you. I've learned that more and more as I transitioned from the military and I don't have the hierarchy of the box. I'm not stuck in the box. I don't have the group think as much anymore. Although I do to some degree, I still kind of, but I'm working toward getting away from that. Not because it was necessarily a bad thing in uniform. Sometimes you have to have that thought
Some
process that's
structure, yeah.
similar, yeah, to accomplish the mission, right? It's in front of you. Somebody's got to be in charge. Somebody's got to be, the doer, and that's just the way it is. But authenticity, man. I mean, it's the same reason why people go. You back in the day used to go down the street and buy the TV from the guy that you knew that ran the TV store, and you went over here to the car dealer that you trusted, and you went across the street to the people that you trusted across the street, the restaurant that you trusted to give you great food. Authenticity is key. And if you're selling on LinkedIn and you're getting in a lot of people's DMs trying to sell a product, man, if you haven't developed some sort of relationship with them on the feed, on the news feed, you're missing out.
They really are. And great comment from Lee Krausen. They can just move on. If they don't like the content people put out, move on. They control their own feed. So you click on the three dots, the ellipsis, and just move on. If you don't want to see a 25th wedding anniversary post, that's cool. I'm
Yeah.
cool with that.
I would just like to say my former boss is on here, and I'm about to freak out. It's my old boss, Sergeant Major of the Army, Kenneth Preston.
That's everyone's old boss in the Army, right?
He was my boss, and he was a great boss. I'll tell you that. He made such a difference in so many lives. So it's awesome to see him on here. Now I got to be on my best behavior, guys. I got to be on my best behavior.
No, but Jose, we can be authentic now. We're cool.
That's what I loved about him, is he was authentic, even though he was like the pinnacle of PAOs, of Army soldiers. I was his PAO.
Yeah,
but
come on now.
He was the pinnacle of soldiers. I'll tell you, it was not unheard of that a sergeant major of an installation would come up and pick us up in a truck at the airport, say, "Jump on in, guys." And he was just as happy with that, probably more happy with that, than when someone came in some sort of a group of vehicles and wanting to escort him places. He was just authentic, and I appreciate.
And that's authenticity right there. People love that.
That's what we're talking about. That's exactly what we're talking about. So, Matt, for someone who wants to maintain that authenticity as they're transitioning from the military or going from job to job and are looking to present themselves in a way that's truly authentic on their news feed, do you have any tips for them?
I would just share things, share your experiences, whether they're professional and work related or they're personal. Just share who you are. Some share a lot. Some share just memes. That's fine. That shows who you are. But if you can mix it up, those are the things that employers can look at and say, you know what, we're going to get this person because he has all these things or she has all these things. And that's what we want to see. But just don't waste opportunity. Be consistent. Post once or twice a week. I post every day, sometimes twice. Things pop in my head. I have a lot of conversations throughout the day. And I just, my phone's notes is just full. So I try to get everything out as best I can. But there's some people that post like 10 times a day. That's a lot of work. But find where your consistency is. Let people know who you are. So when it comes to nurturing relationships, it's not always one-on-one. It could be you post, and when you post, talk about you. Talk about that person. Not individually, but as a group. You. That's your connection to your network. Listen, I've been married a long time. I have a lot of close friends, but I don't always talk to all the close friends all the time. But they're still close friends. But I wouldn't have had a 25-year marriage if I didn't nurture that once in a while. I'd be out the door. She'd be like, forget you. So these are things we have to do. So I look at connections on LinkedIn as close old friends that can always drop by and ask a question. Now we'll respond to them for the most part within a day or so. But sometimes it's overwhelming, Jose.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I took two things away from you there. First of all, was consistency. When I'm training people on how to network and how to engage with content. A lot of people are shy, and that's okay. I mean, we all start at some point, right? But I share with people, if you're consistent, they will come. It's
Yes.
kind of like what's the old with the movie with Kevin Costner, where he builds the field of dreams. Yeah.
Field of Dreams.
If you build it, they will come. If you build your personality and share your experience and who you are and your authenticity, they will come. And engaging with people is so much easier when they know, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, you build a brand of trust as you post things on a regular basis. But if you're not there, people forget about you. There's that, 10-second attention span, or we're getting to the point of cockroach attention span at this point on social media, but maybe we're not there yet. Maybe we're about half a second off. But I'll tell you, if you're just not there on a consistent basis, you're not there, and the opportunities may not present themselves.
That's
Um,
true.
yeah. And I would say the second thing that you shared was, about commenting on a regular basis. I think about the comment section as a great place to maintain additional conversations, to maybe find some people that you want to connect with who have similar thoughts than you, and to engage in a conversation with people. I mean, sometimes the person who posted is not the person who is best suited to the conversation you want to have, right?
Jose, me. I
Uh,
tell you, I post every Friday about finances. And this is the reason why I post about finances, just so people understand. I was raised with not a lot of money. So my family never talked about money. And then I got in the military, not a lot of money. I didn't understand money at all because no one talked about it. So it's a vicious cycle. So I will talk about it now. I'm not an expert. I will facilitate conversations, but you mentioned this comment section.
yeah.
The comments section of my Finance Friday post have great information, and some don't agree with me. That's fine. I love counterpoints. It's not always what I say. I share my experiences, and if some don't agree with that, they can challenge a thought, and I may grow from that. I have grown from that.
Yeah.
So when people post on LinkedIn, jump in the conversation. Don't feel like you're butting in. You're sharing, you're adding value to a conversation. Jump on in. I am not a financial expert. I am not by any means, but the people in the comment section usually are.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll tell you, those conversations lead to incredible relationships. It is not uncommon for me to find, someone or someone's comment even more interesting or engaging than what the original person, posted. And so maybe someone in my comment section gets a little bit more out of someone else. And I love the fact that you shared, some people will share a differing opinion. And if we're all respectful and adults in the room, we expect that not everyone's going to think like us. And if someone, just sincerely responds, in a professional manner, in the kind of manner that you would expect of a friend or a colleague, and shares their point of view, man, I mean, I've learned from a lot of people who've posted some differing opinions in my comments section, but were respectful. And I was like, man, I learned a lot. And maybe the way I'm thinking is not the right way. And
And
I
some of
just
those
picked something
comments,
up.
aren't respectful, Jose.
Yeah,
But
that's
you know what I do? I don't block them off. I don't block them.
Yep.
I hit them back with kindness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if they get vulgar or listen, I'll block them. But I always hit them back with kindness
Yeah.
because some people don't understand how social media works. So
Yeah.
I don't mind taking a little bit of time to
Yeah.
acknowledge that.
Yeah. I'll say thank you for your comment. Sometimes what I'll do is I will, of course, if the person's super disrespectful, then I'll get
Yeah,
rid of it.
you're
But
gone.
I'll also remind myself that social media is two dimensional. And sometimes, even with our best intentions, what we mean and what other people receive are two different things. And so sometimes I'll leave it to that. I'll say maybe the direction that this person is going is not the direction I intended, but it is what it is, right? They're hearing something different. So I definitely stay positive in my posts. So I hope that I never go in some direction that anyone would even reconsider. But if they see something that I don't, or if they're pointing in a different direction, like you said, a kind comment and move on. is the best way to go.
That's all it takes.
Hey, listen, if you're watching and you're like, why are Jose and Matt on here? We decided to do a pop-up video and say hi and hang out with you guys. So if you're in the comments section, feel free to jump in and say hello. We'd love to hear from you. And I'm over here picking Matt's brain, and it's a terrific place to be. Matt, talk to me a little bit more about, are profiles more important than networking, and is networking more important than engaging with content?
My goodness, listen, this is a hot topic right here. You gotta think about your profile as this is the first time meeting somebody. So make sure your profile photo's there. Listen, mine doesn't look very good. It's me. But what looks good is my headline in my about section. So I can't help my face. I really can't. But I can make the headline pop, and I can make the about section pop. So if you want an example of an about section that has like 3 to 5 actionable solutions to problems, check it out.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do that, is just find someone else's stuff. But that's one component.
Mm-hmm.
The other component is really networking, building the actual network out. When you think about reaching out to people, if I want to get a job, let's say in project management, I'm in the military, reach out to project managers in areas and companies you want to work with. I may connect you, I may give you general information about how to get in that field, but those people give you specific information, if they respond, to tell you what certifications you need or you should have, what education you need or should have, and they'll tell you a kind of like a framework on how to get there. This is why we say start your military transition early, 2 years out. Reach out to people you want to work with, the jobs you want, and try to take their jobs. Not really, but just pick their brains. And if you're a veteran, search LinkedIn for project management, if that's what you want to do, and go to all filters and put in their past companies or current company, Navy, Marine Corps, and put them in there and find those people.
Yeah,
that's what you got to do. But then you have your profile, you have your building network. Now talk about your experiences you have. If you're an expert, so go put a project manager in the search box. You can type fast.
Here you go, project manager. Now what do we do?
Go to people there.
Mm-hmm.
I love your screen, how it's the dark mode, Jose.
Yeah.
Helps my eyes, my old eyes. Now you have 14 million people right there that are project managers on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
All filters, scroll down, go to past company.
Yeah, past company.
There it is. Click on Army right there, and then add in there. You can add some more on there. Scroll back down a little bit.
It's probably back up.
So add company. Put like Air Force, Marine Corps, Navy, even Space Force. Don't forget the Coast Guard either.
Yep.
Put all the branches there, and then hit show results, and you're now 14,700,000 project managers will dip down to like, I don't know, 500,000. But we're about to find out though.
Yeah.
Jose types fast, but he doesn't click fast though.
No, I don't. Yeah, it keeps going to the top. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. Space Force. Is this real?
Actually, it is.
Real.
There it is.
And it's the coolest logo ever.
There are Guardians.
Yeah, Scotty. All right. So I'm going to hit show results. We went from 14,700,000 to 108,000.
108,000. Now, imagine if you want to go from, let's say, the DMV and DC, you want to go to, let's say, Dallas, Fort Worth. Put in locations and put Dallas, Fort Worth.
Dallas, Fort Worth.
Show results, 108,000. Now go down to
4,100.
4,000. These are the people you want to focus on. And look at that, the gold icon. That gold LinkedIn icon that says that this person or their company pays for LinkedIn service. They're probably more active on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Not always, but sometimes. Reach out to Anthony and say, hey, Anthony, I'm leaving the military soon. I'm looking for a job and I'm looking for a project manager job in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I want to, let's say we hop on a call for 15, 20 minutes so I can see how you got to where I want to go.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
Mostly veterans will reach back out and say, you know what, let's do this. 15 minutes, all yours.
It's like Geico, man. It's like Geico. 15 minutes can make a huge difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, the other thing too is, when you go to somebody like Anthony, your first thought across the board should always be to provide value first before you ask for anything. Anthony, if you've connected with him, if he's given you that opportunity, it'd be great to engage with him ahead of time, assuming he puts things out there. But that's okay if he doesn't. But when you respond to him, when you send him a connection request, I'm going to send him a connection request, guys.
Oh, we're really live, aren't we?
And I'm going to say, Anthony, I was watching Matt Quick on a live stream and saw your name, and I'd love to connect with you. Hope you're well. CSM, Sergeant Majors love to hear their name. CSM,
oh yes.
Regards, Jose. Send. Now look, it's up to him, right? He might be like, this dude is ugly. I am not going to follow him at all, but he may connect with me. And so we'll leave it out there. Anthony, if you're watching, I like your beard.
And some of the times, Jose, if someone's got a bigger network, I'll follow them first.
Yeah.
Watch for their content, respond, and then after a time of responding, I don't mind connecting then, or they may connect with me.
Yeah.
That's a way to do it too. So there's a follow first procedure if you want to. If not, connect.
Yeah.
Hey, absolutely. Casey Bell, happy St. Patrick's Day, man.
Hey, Casey, what's going on? Here you go.
Crystal got a question, man. Don't leave Crystal hanging. Right?
Can we use these to connect with as well if we want to start our own company? Great question, Matt.
So let's just say, Crystal, for instance, you want to go into the coaching profession, career coaching, because she was one phenomenal career counselor in the Army, but maybe you want to be career coaching now. You can connect with people if you want to. Don't ever sell. Think about yourself. Do you like being sold to? I don't. So connect with people, offer nothing, and then they'll get to learn you through your content. So post every day, twice a week, whatever it is, whatever your consistency is, post. They'll get to know you, and eventually they're like, you know what? Crystal's she knows what she's talking about. I want to reach out to her for some career coaching.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah. Don't sell. People buy from who they trust.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's about providing that value initially and demonstrating that value, whether that be in the news feed, whether that be in the DMs. One of the things that Matt and I come across all the time is when somebody sends us a note and says, hey, I got till Wednesday of next week to get a great resume put together and get a great, LinkedIn profile and 300-400 people in my network. So can you help me? Here's my resume. And you're like, who are you? Like, buy me dinner first, right?
Please.
All the time. I'm like, what's going on here? And so, if you bring value to the person, man, you know what? And it isn't that you're stroking people's egos, but if you just share with them where you engage, where you've met them, whether that be digitally or in person. I saw a post of yours while, looking at my buddy's comment. I looked up and saw that you were the person who posted, and I like what you posted. Or, even if you go back to their profile and talk about, wow, it's impressive that you've got a variety of these companies that I'd love to work at. Man, you're obviously doing something right. Anything that can connect you to that individual on a very organic level makes a huge difference in how they respond to you. And so, I absolutely encourage either people who are in sales, and I'm surely no expert at sales, but people who are in sales, or just someone who really does need some help with a resume or a profile. man, if you engage the right way, everything changes.
I got a message today, Jose, from Nathaniel Bellinger. I don't know the guy, but he says, "Hey Matt, great response about employers knocking on your door with opportunities." Now, I comment on a lot of people's posts. I try to do 50 a day just to get out there. So I was like, "Hey, I'm not sure which response this is, but can you share it?" He shared the post with me.
Mm-hmm.
It was from 2 years ago. Herb Thompson posted something about employers knocking on your door, and I said, "I might not have been home when they knocked." It was that kind of thing, but 2 years ago. So these comments are still out there. So just comments are so powerful. So get in there. Yes, Howie, I'm a Giants fan. Please don't make
Just
fun of
throwing
me
this out
because
there.
it's tough.
Hold on. Oh, how we got rid of that post? What's going on? I can't get it up there. Man, there you go. There. Oh, I can't get my comments.
So I got you, man.
You
So
got me?
yeah.
All right, go ahead, brother.
So yeah, so I'm a Giants fan. I got it right here. It's hard time, but we have 4 championships, so I'm cool with that. All right.
See, we go everywhere with these comments and these conversations, and I hope that shows our authenticity to you. So that's terrific, Matt. I appreciate you breaking down. I always think of the three, profile, networking, and engaging with content. They're tied together. Your profile is that first look. Do you look professional? Do you look how you want to look? Right? And that's what that profile is. If I had to figure out Jose is in one steady state, I go there. Oh, what is this? Okay. There's Jose. This is who he is. These are the things he's done. This is kind of what he feels he's qualified to do. This is what he wants to do. This is where he's at in life. Okay, got it. Then the network that you grow is that authenticity, building those relationships over time. And then engaging with content, I think it makes you more three-dimensional. You become a real person engaging with content. That's why I really encourage people to do it. It's the hardest of the three. You can sit there on an afternoon with the right person on the other end and create a good profile. Networking, someone can prod you to get there, but engaging with content, man, people are so scared of it because they want to be perfect every single time. That's
Oh,
how it works.
Speak about perfection, Jose. There are some times that I'm from New York, so sometimes my talk to text isn't so great.
Mm-hmm.
My phone hasn't learned my nuances yet. So if I post something, I will get some DMs. Hey, Matt, you spelled this wrong or this wrong. I appreciate that. I'll go back and edit it.
Yeah.
Even my comments. I think that shows you don't have to be perfect to post.
Yeah.
Just add a little bit of value. If you say the wrong word or you spell your, whatever, just dive in there.
Yeah.
You're not jumping into conversations. You're adding value.
Yeah.
Just
absolutely.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The perfection thing, Jose, and I'm not perfect. So
No.
by any means.
You and me both, man. I am not perfect. And I purposely use I was a broadcaster and AFN guy. So if any of you were ever overseas, guilty of making those crappy AFN commercials, okay? I loved making them, but I know that they weren't always well received. I don't know why. But I was a broadcaster, and on the what you call it, on the my God,
The TV.
I thought no, on the thing that you look back at on the teleprompter. Jeez, I just had a mind.
I'm not a broadcaster. I don't know.
Yeah, on the teleprompter, when you looked at things, there are ways that you separated words to remind you to breathe, to remind you to leave a space, and I will not give it up. So I know I'm like Oxford comma all over the place, but I love the comma and I use it as a thinking point, as a stopping point, and I won't give it up for anybody. And so when people read my post, they're like, "Damn, Jose, how many commas are you going to use?"
Listen, the people listening to it right now, they can tell you're a broadcaster, and they can tell I am not.
Oh my goodness! Tricare. Oh my God, Jan, you're all over it, man. I remember.
Was that you, Jose?
I didn't do it, but I probably played it. I'll tell you what. Engaging with content is a process. You start with liking. I mean, that's the fundamental way to engage is liking. And I'm as guilty as the next person of getting into a liking streak. and all of a sudden I'm 1,400 likes into it. And I'm like, oh my God, I better do something of actual value. But liking is that first step for me, and then kind of that second step is commenting. And that's where all of a sudden things change, because now you are a real person who's engaging, and you may not be engaging with a full post, but you're doing something, right? You're engaging with content,
Hey, we've been on for over a half hour. But before
What?
we leave, before we leave, I got to tell a short story about
ahead,
a
man.
military transition.
Hi, Amanda. Go ahead.
Because hey, Amanda, I'll talk to you tomorrow. So before I get my green beard tonight, I was talking to a retiring Army Sergeant Major, I think it was a few months ago. And he asked me about resumes. I'm like, I don't do resumes, but here's some people that I use for resume services. And he goes, well, tell me about your transition. And we had a regular conversation like this right here, just him and I. And he kept saying he wanted a job, needed a job doing this right here. He wanted to work at Amazon, the big companies. I get that, the Walmarts of the world, great. But I asked him, do you want to be another cog in a wheel? So for 30 years, you spent doing this, a cog in a wheel. And now do you want to do that again? He says, I don't know. So I said, what's your passion? What do you like doing? So a 20-minute conversation. And then he said one thing to me. He goes, hey, last weekend, my girlfriend and I went on a brewery tour. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, that sounds cool, man. He goes, yeah, we love that. I'm like, that's your passion. Either develop a brewery for yourself or buy into one. And then you can just hang out at a brewery all day and get paid for that once you buy into those things. So, awesome. So now, 2 months later, he's a part owner of 3 breweries. He had the money not to have to worry about needing a job, getting out of the military. He had the money. He saved for years. Now he's investing that money into a brewery, or 3 brewers now, and he can just sit back and enjoy life and have income. That's finding your passion right there. These conversations, they help us do that. So I was touched by that. I'm like, that is awesome. I like breweries, except those stouts. I don't mind doing it, but the green beers,
I'll do, IPAs man. Either. I don't know. They're a little.
I don't mind those so much.
Classy for me.
And not the apple beers. No.
Oh man. Hey Matt, listen, man. I guess we should probably go while people are still applauding, man. It's a win, right?
Yeah. Listen, we're high, right?
Take it as we go, right? Leave them wanting more. Hey, my friends. Listen, Matt, you have been terrific, and I really appreciate your time. I know you're busy, and you jumped on board. So I salute you. I was gonna go. This is a dollar store hat, but it looks good on me.
It looks good though, right?
I put it to the side. I'm like gangster.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you, man. And we'll bring you back on the show over and over again, because every time you're on here, we learn so much from you.
I love it.
Hey, listen, for all of you who are, listening and checking us out, first of all, I appreciate you hanging out with us this afternoon. Secondly, I would love for you to follow or connect with us. We're always happy to join your network, and, definitely happy to support our service members transitioning, their military spouses, as well as veterans. And you know what? You don't have to be a service member to engage with us. It's absolutely okay. I have a whole lot of friends that are on here that I've grown great relationships with that have nothing to do with the military. By the way, we don't own leadership in the military. So I know a lot of people think they do, but it's great to engage with everyone across the board. So please consider connecting and following with us.
Don't be shy. Get in there, follow, connect. Don't be shy.
That's right. Do that. And listen, I will be back probably next week. It's usually every other week that I jump on here. Hold on. I got to throw this back up here again. Look, my YouTube channel. Guys, help me with my YouTube channel. I got to grow.
Subscribe.
You're on there already. I mean, just look, subscribe. All right. Jose Velazquez Jr. with the extra Z, because I'm Z classy. I'm Z classy. I appreciate all of you. And listen, again, I'll be back next week, and, always here to help you, always here to make a difference in your career, in your life. And I genuinely care about you. So, we'll see you soon. Okay. Take care, everybody.
Jose. Cheers.
Green beers. Here we go.